Hello, family. Thank you for coming over to the house tonight. And just kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Party on down to the SK beat. We're kicking, just kicking, just kicking. Okay, you don't come to another episode where we're going to be asking the question of, why you telling my business? Don't be telling my business. Why not? Because a can and a can, a can, a can, and a wheel. Now we're off to... Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming back to Deb Chanel's 48th World. Hopefully you all had a wonderful Thursday at work, or you at play, or you had the day off and you just lounged around the house. Can you do one thing for me, fam? Subscribe to my channel, like and share the video, and comment if you do so desire. Okay? If you so desire. Do it. But I talk about people. Not badly, I don't think. It's just I'm reacting to what they already had put out there in the social media world. It's not like I'm sitting out hanging out with a camera and following you everywhere you go just to see if you're up to something that can be talked about in the news media. But Nene, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Now, everything that we talk about over here is all alleged. We don't know it to be the truth. And we tell you that. We don't know. We just heard it. When we thought we would just come over here and do a video about it, just speculation, throwing in allegedly, because we really don't know unless we have solid proof. We saw it with our eyes. We captured it on camera, and we're ready to share it to the world. Because a can, and a can, and a wheel. All right. We're going to be talking about Nene Leakes and what she said about her deceased husband. She sat up there and said that Greg signed the lease. And since Greg is no longer in this world, she thinks that just makes the, how can you say it? The debt go away. Thank you, Sean. Now, that is a sorry ass move Nene tried to play. I'm like, Nene, come on, girl. When you were up there in the swag boutiques and you were showcasing your wares, you said that was your thing. And you were inviting people to come in and partake of your apparel, so your jewelry and all of that you had in the swag boutique. All of it was really overpriced. Terribly overpriced. But that's how you do things. I mean, did you wear your own stuff? I think she did. But you didn't have a designer that you were dealing with. You weren't getting it from a house fashion type of club. Because you're not in the fashion world. Not really. Not really. But I ain't gonna knock you. You was out there trying to make it do what it do. But I am gonna say that was some sorriness. Okay, because we never saw Greg up there until he had got his cancer scare and he wanted to be closer to you. And all of that. And now you're going to turn it on a dead man. You trying to say that was Greg? You trying to say that was Greg business then? Because if he had the lease written in his name, then that wasn't your business. That was Greg's business. So why were you representing yourself as the owner of your fashion store, boutique store? I was like, no, Nene ain't throwing her dead husband under the bus. But she did. Yeah, she did. She said that was Greg did that. Greg got that lease. I ain't have nothing to do with it. Out of her words. So let's go into what Hollywood Unlocked had to write up on Miss Nene Leaks. It was a Keisha Gale on the 17th, which was today. She titled her article, Nene Leaks responds to report that claims she's being sued over unpaid rent for former clothing store Swag. Greg signed the lease, not me. He ain't here. So I'm like, Nene, you getting like Sharada don't pay. She want people to do stuff for her, and once it's done, she don't want to have anything else to do with it. Okay? I'm like, that's not how we do things. I mean, everyday people. You were at one time an everyday person going out there working and making it do what it do. So you you have to pay for things, Nene. If you rented the space and you sat down and saw all the details in your contract, then you knew that you owed that money. But for you to throw your deceased husband in the mix and you're not taking accountability for, the stuff that you had leased out in that in the Swag boutiques. So I think you had three. You had one in Baltimore, one here, and I want to say Miami. I think you were trying to put one in Las Vegas. But you do stuff that just don't make no kind of sense, Nene. I say no kind of sense. I mean no kind of sense. You knew you couldn't handle all them doing swags. But I'm sure you were competing against somebody, in the franchise. Maybe Candy, okay? Or Porsche. I don't know. But you were definitely in competition with trying to say who has this, who has that, all these businesses, all of those businesses. But the sad part about it, Nene, you didn't keep none of them. You did not keep any of your businesses. And that is crazy. Because I'm not even going to say that lounge is working 100% for you. Because you're trying to dump that off and sell the equipment that's in there too. You said it in your past rants on social media. But let's go back, excuse me, to the article. Yeah, because I got mad at you when you sat up there and closed the store up and didn't even tell your workers that they didn't have a job anymore. They had to find out when they came back to work the next day and everything was gone. You weren't returning phone calls to them like they said. So I mean, that's just crazy right there. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Then you made the statement on the Bravo Shade Room. You responded to a fan who commented, she's literally grieving her husband today, as it is his birthday. Have some empathy. Leaks replied to the IG user on Wednesday and said, Greg signed the lease, not me. He ain't here. Girl, did you hear what you said, Nene? You put it all on Greg, a deceased person. You took no accountability of, the store that you said it's your baby. You own it. This is me. But you saw how you didn't know literally nothing about doing business, especially in the arena of a restaurant and lounge and the apparel company. You got to keep feeding them because money's going to be slipping out from somewhere somehow. So, I mean, you weren't like a Candy. Candy's very frugal with her money, but then when she wants to spend a obscene amount of money on a project or, trips she want to take, she's going to do it. And she has the money to do it because she's always had that reserve. Like, even if they kick her off Real Housewives of Atlanta, they still giving her a spinoff. So that is giving more time for her to have another revenue stream. Okay? Because she was very pleased that it was coming back. That's why I was like, she might not even come back for season 16 because, or that might be her last, what do you call it, hoorah, being on the show. Because she always talking about she want that EGOT. She want that EGOT. Well, you're not going to get that EGOT staying with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You got to go be making other types of movies than what you're currently making. Unless you want to be seen like a prostitute, hoe, junkie, female dope dealer, what any of that they want to typecast people up in. But I mean, that said a lot to me about your character, which I kind of already knew. You only care about yourself. Uh, I'm gonna say you care a little bit about Brent here and there, and we damn sure know you don't care too much about Bryson, because I'm like, are you there with the camera going in filming him in jail? Was that a thing you could do? But I don't think you went down there. What y'all think? Y'all think Nene went down there and see her son to uplift his spirits and tell him it's gonna be all right? It's gonna be all right. But we can't say happy belated birthday or happy birthday to the deceased Greg Leaks, because he would have you acting like this. He would not have you acting like this. He would have been put you in your place. You may not have liked what he had to say or whatnot. But Greg was a G. You weren't gonna walk over him. You weren't gonna tear him in and everything, because he respected you and he demanded respect, for himself that you were trying to give him. Or trying not to give him, I guess. Because that whole thing about y'all had got divorced. Why was Greg still living in your basement or your lowest, lower level house? Why was Greg still living there? If the love was lost and you couldn't deal with him no more? Or was it more so you were trying to run from the IRS and Greg was taking a lot of hits for it and he was being audited or whatnot? Allegedly. Now you got old fancy pants over there, Shaka. Well, not Shaka, Shaba, man. And he ain't fooling with you like that. All of this going across the screen. My 4Fs. That's what Nene is giving us at this time. The things she should be doing, she's not doing. Places she should be going, she's not going. Yep. We try to make it make sense, but sometimes we come up empty-handed. It just don't make no sense. And Nene is not making sense out in them streets. I mean, we saw her, was it last year? A year before last, she was just traveling with Fancy Pants, Charlamagne. And she was spending on him. I know she was. But that's all I got. I ain't got no more. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.